Hello everybody! This video is going to be about good bishops and bad bishops in Endgames. So I've got this position here. This is black to play and win. And what we need to identify is which of the bishops is good and which is bad. Now, a good bishop is one that is is operating on a different coloured square to the majority of his pawns. So black's pawns are on dark squares and his bishop is on light squares. So he has a good bishop. It has much more manoeuvrability. And also, because white's pawns are on light squares, which is the same colour as the bishop's able to attack pawns, the enemy pawns. So in both cases, this bishop fits the bill. It is a good bishop. Now white has the bad bishop because the reverse is true. His own pawns are on the same colour as it is. So that could perhaps interrupt the mobility of the bishop. And the enemy pawns are on a different colour square to the squares this bishop controls. So white's bishop, in both senses, is a bad bishop. It's not able to attack. It can only defend meekly, whereas black's bishop can be an aggressive attacker. So, to demonstrate this, what do you think black's first move will be? Yeah, attack a weak pawn. So the two weak pawns are a2 and g2. a2 is practically impossible to attack, so bishop d5 attacks the weak pawn. Now white's bishop has to defend it. Why is bishop f3 not a good move? Yeah, you should instantly be able to tell me that. Black can simply swap. Bishop takes bishop, g2 takes f3, and then black can just play his pawn to g2 and then g1 queening. So bishop f1 sort of has to be played. If instead white chose not to be passive and to get the king out, black could very easily win by capturing the pawns and throwing his own pawns up. So this is a no-brainer. White has to defend with the rather meek bishop f1. Now this is very good because black's bishop has a bit of manoeuvrability. You generally want to keep it on this diagonal, so it keeps on attacking the g2 pawn, and white's bishop can't actually move. It's basically paralysed. So there are two ways of approaching this. There's one that some eagle-eyed people might have spotted, but we'll go with the general plan because this is an extreme example. Black can now move the king up, and white has to get his king active. But the problem is, what's wrong with king d2, for example? King c2 would probably be played, but what's wrong with king d2? So, king d2, what would you play as black? Well, another feature of a good bishop is being able to create a passed pawn. So what black could do is just take on b3. And if white recaptures, then a2, and white can't prevent the pawn from queening. So the trouble with the white king is it has to stay on c1 or c2 because that's the only way it could catch the a3 pawn running up the board. So king c2, and now black can just advance with the king. Unfortunately, king c1 has to be played. And now black can just run over and use the king actively. And that's because black's bishop has been paralysing white's two pieces. One piece is holding down two white pieces. So that's an extremely good bishop, an excellent bishop. And for those of you who've seen this, excellent, but there is an even faster way to win. After bishop d5, bishop f1, and now can you see how black wins instantly? Zugzwang. Bishop e4. Now white's king can't move at all. It's stalemate, basically. So the only piece that can move is now the bishop on f1. So pretty much wherever it moves to, again, because I like setting traps, I would play bishop d3 and hope that black would take me to get stalemate. But no, wherever you move the bishop, let's say e2, bishop takes g2, and now white's in deep, deep trouble. Bishop g4, bishop f1, bishop f3, take, king, and then just throw the pawn up. And black wins this quite easily. So that is good bishops against bad bishops in endgames. Just to go an overview here. The good bishop is good for the reason that it attacks the enemy pawns while not needing to defend its own pawns, and it can often sacrifice itself to create passed pawns, as we saw with bishop takes b3, as well as often attacking the enemy pawns and paralyzing the opponent. So there are some endgames where after bishop d5, bishop f1, there might be a situation where black's king and white's king are on, say, two squares in opposition to each other. So it's a case of whoever moves their king first will give ground to the other one and will lose. And in this sort of position, black's bishop could just move along the entire diagonal, e4, d5, c6, b7, a8, whereas white's bishop couldn't move. So the black bishop, the good bishop, can also be used as a like to pass a move, and you could gain a tempo, or lose a tempo, depending on the situation. So that's good bishops and bad bishops. I hope you got something from this video. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.